Back for some more Assetto Corsa. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And today we're going to teach you how to use controller on Assetto Corsa. You guys know in this channel we use the trusty Mosler R5. Not able to set up my wheel, so I thought, why don't I get a controller working? I figured out the best settings for no Hesi, the best settings for track racing, and just the best settings overall in 2026. So let's get straight into it. First, you're going to want to determine whether you're using the Xbox controller, a PlayStation controller, or maybe a Ryzen or something custom. It really all comes down to PlayStation versus Xbox or PC controller. If you're using the PS5 controller, you're going to want to watch the whole video, and Xbox is pretty straightforward. First thing you're going to want to do is turn on your controller and connect it to your PC, so Bluetooth or a wired connection. But once you connect it and push the middle button, it should bring up Steam, and that's how you know your controller is recognized. But just to make sure, you want to come to Steam, you want to go over here, scroll over here until you see controller. You just want to make sure your controller name pops up here, so that way you know it's recognized by Steam. And you compare and change all the settings here. But as far as the Assetto Corsa goes, it's pretty simple. Everybody who plays online or plays no Hesi is already using Content Manager, so you're going to want to open that up. And in Content Manager, all you want to do is come over here to Settings, Assetto Corsa, Controls, and your input method on the top. You want to change this from wheel or keyboard and mouse. You want to change it to gamepad. These are my settings. I'm also going to leave a link down there to better settings that feel like Forza, ones that work for GT3 cars. You guys will see, but these are my settings right here. This is what I think feels the best, and I'm a person, I don't like to change my settings in Content Manager all the time. We're going to change them in the game. I'll show you guys that later. But in my opinion, if you're using the controller, because it only has so many buttons, you're going to want to click combine with keyboard so that you still have all your controls, just like if you were on wheel. And you can come over here and bind all your buttons, a system, additional, and patch. But if you're using the PS5 controller, it won't let you bind the buttons here. This is why you're going to want to watch the whole video. This is where that link comes in. You guys can see we have Roll Car, Forza Like, and GT3. I'm using the GT3 settings just because it feels the most natural, but you guys can try either one of these. You just apply these settings to this part of Content Manager. Next, all you're going to want to do is go to custom shaders patch, scroll down until you see gamepad effects, and make sure this extension is checked active. And then your gamepad script, you're also going to want to check active. And that's pretty much it. Your controller should work. You can come back here to Assetto Corsa controls, and you can click all the buttons on your controller just to make sure that they're all working. So scripts are everything you need for controllers to work in Assetto Corsa on PC. This is what's going to determine how your controller feels and reacts to the car. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to leave two links in the description below again. The one for console FX is the best one by far. It is based on the base A7 assist, but the console FX one feels the most natural to me. It feels like playing a PS4 or Xbox. For my no Hesi players out there, you guys can use A7 assist, but if you're racing on track, I will use console FX. But if you want to know how to install one of these from the link below, all you're going to want to do is click download, and once it goes to your downloads, you'll take the console FX, you'll right click it and use 7-zip or WinRAR. You're going to want to open the program, and you'll see it here. It says base custom consoles. You double click this and you'll see these two files in here, and now you want to go to your Assetto Corsa root folder. If you don't know how to find your root folder, it's really easy. You come to settings, content manager, general, and you just click open right here. It'll open your Assetto Corsa root folder, and then all you're going to want to do is find the place where your controller scripts are installed. So you'll go to extension, you'll go to LUA, and then you'll see joypad assist. Double click that, and you can see all of your controller scripts in this folder. So you take the base custom console effects and you'll drag it into here. I already have it, so it's going to ask me if I want to replace it, and that's pretty much it. You can do the same for any controller script you can find online. And then once you come into Content Manager, you just come back here to the same spot, gamepad effects, and you would change the script depending on, in my opinion, if you're racing or you're doing no Hesi. A lot of these are funny. Some of them use gyro steer, so basically for PlayStation controllers, you can use the motion and literally drive by tilting your controller back and forth. It's kind of fun, kind of weird. You guys can try it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you do that, your controller should work. Everything should be fine. We're going to show you guys how to map everything when you get in the game. So once you get in the game, if you're using a PS5 controller, this is where this video is gonna come in handy. You wanna download an app, and it's just an app to map all your buttons. So if you scroll over here, you're gonna wanna scroll down until you see controller tweaks in your settings. If you don't have it, all you wanna do is go to the app shelf and simply scroll down until you see controller tweaks and download. Once you get controller tweaks, it's gonna open up like this, and this is where you can change all of your button mapping, your sensitivity, and everything for PS5 controllers. It won't let you change it in Content Manager. For Xbox controllers, you can use this or the settings in Content Manager, but these are my settings. You have to change next gear, previous gear, the horn, to change the camera, etc, etc. Down here, tweaks at the bottom, you're gonna want to map your throttle and brakes. All my PlayStation players, R2, L2, we know how that goes. And then that's pretty much it. Your controller should work 100%, and you just change those scripts depending on if you're doing no Hesi, track racing / F1 racing. And to remap something, all you have to do is click it, the box will turn red, and you'll just click the button in and it will map it. You click exit, get back in the car, and you guys can see I'm using controller. Everything works just the same it would as if I was on a wheel. But you guys can see I can still switch lanes. Everything is fine, but I wish there was some way to map brake sensitivity. Other than that, this works 100%. If you guys can find brake sensitivity, leave it in the comment section for me and everybody down below. If all else fails and you still don't like the way the controller feels, just come download Advanced Gamepad Assist. This is a totally different app, and you'll just come back to Content Manager. You go to Custom Shaders Pad, you go to Gamepad Effects, and then you'll turn off the Gamepad Effects if you're gonna use that extra app. But this is just if the scripts and the settings, you still don't feel good at controller. Some of you might need this, so let me know if the controller work for you guys, if these scripts are any good for you guys. I'm personally using these myself right now. You guys should now be able to use controller in 2026. Let me know how it worked for you down in the comment section below, and I'll be back next video.